It is Monday, and man, it is a beautiful day, and there's hockey today in Nashville, and when there's hockey today in Nashville, you got to get your pregame on. That's what we're doing. So
get your party to the tardy on your tailgate, man.
So Blaine has told me we're at the top level of Pancho and Lefty's across the street from Bridgestone Arena. So Blaine has told me at the end of the show he's going to jump off like Batman and swing over to Bridgestone Arena.
You must know somebody else named Blaine. Because I definitely did not say that. Man, no way, no how, man. You know, I'm not getting lightheaded up here, so I feel pretty comfortable because, I got, my heights deal. I get a little lightheaded up here, but I'm in pretty good shape, man. Maybe because my back is to everything. Kirby knew to put my back, to the street there, so I couldn't see myself actually falling if something happened. But no, everything's good, man. Having a good time here at the restaurant here, and man, I got these tacos, man. They are fantabulous. Adobe, as well as I got the hot chicken. The hot chicken, right? That's that what I got? Yeah, that's what you guys told me to get. So yeah, we got these nachos. What'd you get?
I got 2 tacos, adobo chicken, and then I always just get whatever. If they have anything that says traditional or classic, anything, anywhere, I just get that. Because that means it's usually pretty plain.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty plain kind of a guy. So you and Lucas Panziga, let's just get to what we're getting to first.
What's that?
We're going to talk a lot of Preds, but
are we?
Let's go to our 2 international correspondents, our show linguist and our content creator for the show. You and Lucas hanging out with the Nashville SC guys yesterday, both at the stadium and eating empanadas off of trucks in the parking lot. And
tailgating. I got there real early. I wanted to make sure I beat the crowd for the parking. So, the old man in me got there at 1:30. It's not till 3:30. So I got to tour the facility, make sure I had to deal with any traffic, go to the tailgate, which was pretty cool. They had some interesting drinking games there, too, and everything. But, man, the stadium is really, really nice. I loved it. It wasn't a bad view in the house. Got the tour, get on the field, go to the press box. All the nice eating places there. Lines were fast, even though they were long. Man, I was super excited, man. It's the talk of the town, man. And it got me jacked up in there, man. Had me cheering and everything, clapping. I was learning all the chants and everything. So that was my first time ever going to a professional soccer game. Ever. So I'm not as well versed as Lucas is, knowing everything was going on out there, but it was fun to see the guys run around, how they get pumped up for the crowd and everything. So I was pretty excited. What about you, Lucas? I'm sure your experience is a little bit different. This is your second time, but I was a good luck charm. I would say that, Lucas, because this is their first win, and I was there.
100%. They're undefeated with Blaine there.
Yeah, you better go back on Wednesday.
Along with 30,000 other people, right?
No, it's still surreal for me to be in there and just see, the way the crowd kind of rises and falls with every big moment in the game. It's still just the coolest thing for me. I don't know if I'll get used to that at any point with how quickly it all happened in the span of like 4 years. But I guess you got to come back Wednesday. They're hosting Atlanta United in the U.S. Open Cup.
Oh, okay.
Well, what people – I mean, you know this, Lucas, but –
big screens on both ends. It was a great venue. I mean, man, it's pretty awesome. It's maybe one of the nicest stadiums I've been to in a long time.
They did it perfectly. Perfect size, perfect everything. I mean, they're 2/3 sold out of season tickets, which is just amazing to have that in your building. But the thing about this, when I found out, oh, wow, we're going to get an MLS team, I started looking. Dude, that schedule is forever. They play almost. Lucas, you can say yay or nay. Don't they play from like March until November? It's nuts how it's like NASCAR long how long the schedule is. Yes.
The season starts late February, early March, and the MLS Cup final is in early November.
So don't they play in other leagues too, though, or some of the players, or no?
Yeah, you have international breaks kind of scattered throughout the slate, so you got to go play international friendlies, or in this year's case, it'll essentially be tune-ups leading up to the World Cup at the end of the year in Qatar. But, yeah, the schedule for a major international soccer player is about 2, maybe 3 weeks of vacation if you play consistently for your club and your country. You're not getting a lot of off time. You can ask Walker Zimmerman about that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy who kind of stands out as
I felt like I got in a little shape, too, man. Just watching him run up and down, I was like, oh, man, my eyes are real tired. I got in shape real quick.
Blaine, what's the most amount of miles you think you ran in one single NFL game? Just out of curiosity. I don't know what the average is for a safety that plays close to the line of scrimmage.
No idea. No, they back in my day, they didn't have the trackers like they
Right.
got now, man. So I have no idea, man. But I would say I was covering a lot of yards. I would doubt that I was running as much as soccer players throughout a whole game. Then there is rest time, just depending on what position you have, because I was watching that part of it really close. Because I thought they got more rest than I ever thought they did throughout a game. There are periods of time they're able to rest, though. But yeah, they're running a lot. That's pretty much besides the ball handling. That they're doing a lot of running.
Blaine and Mickey, you can come by and see us in 3HL. Again, we're at Pancho and Lefty's. There's a couple of different locations, but we're at the location that if you ever go to Preds games, or maybe you need to, you can see right across the street next to the Palm, if you know where that is. That's been here for a long time. Well, so is Pancho and Lefty's. 140 Rep John Lewis Way South, again, across from Bridgestone Arena. They have extended hours for after the game. They also have one in Sylvan Park, 4501 Murphy Road.
Yeah.
They are known for, these tacos and nachos that we're eating.
Yeah.
But they're known for their margaritas. Mad Dog is one of the ones in your favorite flavors, spicy. Strawberry, mango, blueberry, pineapple, Pancho, and Lefty's. They cater. So you're going to have like a small family get-together.
Ooh.
And like Mama and like yesterday, you could have done this. Like if
Man.
Mama's like, I ain't cooking for you turkeys. You could have got Pancho and Lefty's to cater. Also, you got like big work events. Like, like Allen Kirby's, having a big birthday and everybody wants to have a big party at the Zone. Just get Pancho and Lefty's to cater it and invite like 100 people.
Or office bonding, where you just relax and sit in the conference room and then just order the food and just bring it right on in the house. Get your conversation on, man.
I like
get to
that.
know your employers a little bit better on a personal level. Some people don't want to get to know people.
Get to know your people on a personal
I'm
level.
only taking notes from my wife because she does this at our office. So, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I said, I don't know, though. Are you in there, too? Because they may not want the boss in there.
She is the boss.
She says, I make an appearance, and then I know how it is.
Big news today. Teresa Walker's going to join us at 2:20. We can talk about the Preds and how this thing is going. We can talk about the Grizz and how that thing is going. We can talk about the Titans and how that thing is going. Heck, we could even ask her about Nashville SC because she covers everything for the Associated Press. We'll do Ding Dong of the Week coming up in the next segment. And I have a really strange ding-dong for this week that I'll share, but we'd love to hear from you on that. Mark Spain, Real Estate Hotline, 615-737-1045. Some scheduling news for the Titans. You're just, I don't know, maybe you've been busy, you're just getting in the car, you haven't had a chance to look at your phone. NFL starting to leak. How many leagues say, hey, we're going to release the schedule in like 3 weeks on Thursday, and the whole world's like, oh, my gosh. I mean, there'll be a SportsCenter special about it because they're just going to say who plays who. And just to throw us a bone, Blaine, they released
the Titans a bone.
They released some of them early. Well, no, us media types. Titans and Bills, Week 2, Monday Night Football. It is game 1 of a doubleheader with the Vikings and the Eagles. This makes me wonder, are they going to start always playing 2 Monday night games?
Ooh.
Because they're going to start playing games on all these streaming services and everything else. And you can say,
This
okay,
all started with the COVID, right? That's when it all started because the schedule got really crazy.
Yep.
And you started saying, oh, I like this. And they're like, oh, guess what? We do too. Let's see how these ratings are doing.
Well, everybody watched. Again, this is interesting.
Yeah, who's the second game? Philly versus somebody, right?
Yeah, so AJ gets
That's all I was thinking about Philly. I was like, oh, AJ's going to come on the same game day as the Titans.
Vikings and Eagles. That's the second game.
Vikings and Eagles.
Titans beat the Bills last year 34-31 on a defeated quarterback sneak. But the Bills fans are still saying, well, Josh Allen slipped. So he slipped. I think he slipped because Big Jeff was blowing up his guy in his face.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Big Jeff made him slip. Probably good for him, but he came up a little bit short, maybe an inch or two. So, yeah. So they'll be wanting revenge there. So that'll be interesting there in Buffalo. Open air. Luckily, you get them early because the weather won't be so bad, so that'll be good. But their fans will be lit, and they'll be out there jumping off on tables and everything else out there. Kirby directing them, by the way, throughout all of that. So, yeah, I'm excited about that game because there's somewhat of a rivalry there with the history between the Titans and the Bills, starting with, when they were still the Oilers and they came back to beat the Oilers in the playoffs in '92, the year before I got there. And they came back from 30-something points down in the playoffs with Frank Reich, who now is the head coach of the
Colts,
right?
Crazy.
Who led them because Jim Kelly was injured in a big-time comeback. And then the next year, I thought it was a big game in '90. Yeah, we came back. We played them there, and we lost my rookie year. Yeah, sure did. So that was a history.
Then
they had the
there too.
Yeah, the Mid Miracle. There was other history there and in other playoff games, but yeah. So they've always had this angst against the Oiler Titan organization. It's kind of been somewhat of a rivalry. So yeah, I think it'll be exciting, and we'll see.
All right, when we come back, we'll do Ding Dong of the Week. Also, FanDuel Sportsbook has odds out, about who's going to win the Super Bowl. Titans fans, I think you'll be interesting to find out where you are in this deal, and I think you'll also be interested to find out where the Bills are in this deal. And I bet Titans fans could probably much easier guess where the Bills are as far as where the Titans are. Preseason Super Bowl odds. So not only is this a great game, here's the other thing I want to talk about too. And we'll also do Ding Dong of the Week, so get your Ding Dongs lined up here. You can also tweet us at Blaine and Mickey.
Yeah, mine are all lined up.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Bingo. The other thing is this.
Kirby, stop that.
Everybody's picking the Titans to be down. Oh, the Titans are going to be down. They're the 8th team and the 9th team in the AFC. Well, this is a pretty good game for a team that, people are saying is going to be down. Vegas knows some things. Week 2, Monday Night Football.
Well, I don't know how much I trust Vegas. They said the Titans are going to win 9 games the last 2 years. So I don't know if they're real good, but maybe not with the Titans.
Well, they're going to put their butts on TV Week 2 on Monday Night Football. All right, we'll get to all this next. You want to weigh in. Again, we're at Pancho and Lefty's right across the street from Bridgestone Arena, Blaine and Mickey. We got the whole gang here. You can come by. 3HL is going to be here later, too. Come eat some tacos with the Hitman. He may share some of these nachos. We'll be right back with Ding Dong of the Week.
Panchos and Lefties.
soccer team that just keeps on rolling at home. Got Blaine and Lucas hanging out down there. Got the Preds getting, well,
maybe getting swept.
I
think I'm going to go tonight. I think this is maybe it.
Hey, now here's the thing, people.
Got to ask Miss T about this.
A lot of people didn't think that they would make the playoffs. Here they are. They made them. Saros is out. They're playing a fantastic Colorado Avalanche team.
Yep.
The season is probably not going to end the way you want it, but it's been an exciting season. Roman Yossi's been had the best scoring season a defenseman's had in years. Saros is going to be a Vezina finalist, according to at least one of these NHL guys who knows stuff. Got 2 40-goal-plus scores.
Yeah.
He never had more than 34. Nobody scored more than, 34?
That all sounds fluffy, but winning cures all.
Sure does.
See that? Then you got a, big-time player who's going to be a free agent that you can get no compensation for in the market if you don't sign him.
Well, that's a decision they got to make because you had all that, and this is as far as you got.
Oh, man, I don't know, man. Is it time to blow it up? I can't wait to ask Miss T about that.
Well, we're going to ask her that.
Somebody made some boo-boos along the way, and the players got to be accountable, but up top, coaches and players.
Going to be some accountability because you're in the same place 4 years in a row, probably a first-round exit. Ding-dong of the week. That's what we're going to do now. Brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing. Or as we like to say, don't be a ding-dong. Use Mark Spain. Eric is going to lead us off. If you want to join the discussion, 615-737-1045. Eric, welcome in and share your ding-dong with us. How's it going for you on this Monday?
Hey, guys. I hope everybody had, all the moms out there had a great Mother's Day. But my ding-dong has to go to all this just unruly fan behavior, whether it's the Yankees and the Indians a few weeks ago where fans were throwing trash on the field, or yesterday that happened at the Dallas Mavericks Phoenix Suns game. And it's a shame that whoever that fan was had to go after Chris Paul's mom and his wife with his kids there, especially on Mother's Day. That is just totally despicable, disgusting. The guy was ejected. As fans, you just can't do that. The families ought to be able to sit there and enjoy the game in peace. I mean, and it's getting to a point where you're probably about to put them in some sort of suite. You shouldn't have to do that. And also, that fan, to me, not only should be ejected and kept away from any type of sporting events, but anything in that building, period, whether it's concerts or whatever, because that's the only way I think you can put a stop to stuff like that. Guys, y'all take care and have a great day.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, I don't know the details of that. Like, how it got started. Was the fan really the initiator? You never want to take a side until you feel, hear all the details about that. I don't want to assume that the fan, started it all. And how did they even know it was CP3's family, Like, did they have on jerseys or something, or were they talking smack? I don't know. But at the end of the day, stuff like that should not be happening. I can tell you one thing. I used to tell my family, don't even wear my jersey if you have my jersey in a away game. If you're going to talk smack, you want to make sure that you ain't talking smack, even at home games. Sometimes McNair could throw a bad pass. Oh, man. I said, do you know his wife and mother sitting right in front of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to pay attention to those things and be aware and cognizant of what's going on around you. Not to say that was this situation. It's very unfortunate because that stuff shouldn't be happening. If he was a home game, I'm sure they'd be in a suite somewhere. So just got to be cognizant that fans are going to be a little irate, and you got to carry yourself in a different manner just to make sure things don't escalate. Not to say that would happen and still can happen, but, man, I mean, this crap, man, people are getting way out of control here. This shouldn't be happening. You can't be attacking people's family. I'm sorry. However it got started. Just getting a little out of control.
CP3 wound up not playing well, fouled out of the game.
Yeah.
It was just
he was a little bent out of shape. Yeah, he was a little bent. I can see it can rattle you a little bit. So, yeah, but you got to be able to block that stuff off and keep it moving. But unfortunately, them and the team didn't play very well. You got hats off to Dallas, man. They tied it up 2-2. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a series. But, that was on my list, too, for my ding-dong. And then my other ding-dong is for all the people here in Tennessee.
Uh-oh.
Yes, including Memphis. We're including you in this one. That grabbed Ja Morant's knee on purpose. Please stop this. I know in slow-mo when they showed it, it looked like, he grabbed his thigh and knee and pulled it. When you show it in full speed, he hit the ball, and then he thought he could get the ball, and then the ball moved, and he ended up just grabbing his knee, and then he grabbed it and let it go. So it was very unintentional. So for someone to think that that was intentional, that is not the case. So get a grip. I don't care if fans, coaches, whoever was saying that needs to get a little under control. That was not the intent there by any means. And by the way, you also have to look at the history of a player. He had shown no history. Now, has it been a physical playoff game and other players getting injured? I don't think anybody was malicious in any of those injuries. Unfortunately, some people got hurt the elbow and some people, got hurt on certain things. But I don't think anybody was being malicious and actually trying to hurt anybody in this series. So, do I want Ja to play and see how far they can go and beat Golden State? Yes, but things happen, and that was unintentional. So let's get a grip.
In the heat of battle, how hard would it be to intentionally, in all that hand fighting for the ball, to think, okay, I just missed the ball 1/8 of a second ago. I'll tell you what, though, this next time I'm going to grab his knee and pull it.
I'm going to grab his knee that he injured earlier in the season.
That knee is the one, not the other one.
That's the one.
I'm going to get the bad one.
Man, come on. Stop this, please. Stop this. I can't be banging on stuff. I'm going to cut off the electricity.
You're going to knock the tacos off the table.
Yeah.
That's a patented Blaine Bishop. Stop that.
Yeah, stop this. Please.
Lucas Panzica, what have you got for your ding-dong of the week?
You got one, Kirby?
My ding-dong of the week is Phil Mickelson, who has mostly stayed out of sight since dismissing Saudi Arabia's human rights record, saying that it was worth getting involved with the Saudis if it meant gaining some leverage to get what he wanted from the PGA Tour. He didn't play in the Masters, but now here he is back in the news because reportedly his autobiographer has said that Phil Mickelson lost $40 million in gambling money in the years between 2010 and 2014. This report from the author of his autobiographer, it says Mickelson once brazenly pulled out his phone in front of a reporter, made some 50 bets on college basketball games in about 20 minutes like he was showing off. I don't know if he's going to be able to make up that money with his involvement with Saudi Arabia and the leverage that he'll gain from the PGA Tour with that, but Phil Mickelson is my ding-dong of the week.
Lucas, you kind of put Sergio in there a little bit. He's leaking into ding-dong territory. The open mic caught him this week essentially saying, I can't wait to, what did he say? I can't wait to be off this tour. I can't wait to be done with it.
Oh, that's right. He said, I only need to spend 2 more weeks with you people, talking to the media, I think.
He got mad about the ruling of a ball. I guess it was in the rough, and he essentially said, well, I'm not going to be here around yet. Y'all can have this. I'm done with it.
Oh, yeah, he was talking to Kirby.
Look, man, I mean, I get it. Everybody's always looking for the bigger, better deal. But PGA tournament, the PGA has been pretty good to these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil, what'd you say? He lost $40 million?
Man.
About $40 million in the span of 4 years.
I mean, a lot of that is because of what he accomplished on the PGA Tour, right? I mean, you
to
don't
be able to lose that money.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually want to see documentations of this $40 million lost, because the way he sounded as though it was a random deal he did in 20 minutes, and now we're hearing that it's over a 4-year window. He wasn't doing this randomly. He was sitting down thinking about what he was betting. I want to see the cha-ching. Yeah, I wonder if he wrote all that stuff off for taxes, so he ain't been paying no taxes over the last 4 years either, even after the money he was making.
Well, that's the kind of thing I would imagine your spouse would be interested to hear. Like, wait a second, what? You told me you didn't have a problem? Yeah. I just sell this book.
Yeah,
that guy's lying.
Yeah, that sounds like a real problem. That sounds like a book seller. That sounds like a distraction. Yeah.
Phil has been such a popular golfer to so many people. I mean, he's not Tiger, but nobody's Tiger. But Phil's kind of been the other guy for all these years.
Yeah, he's been hanging. Oh, yeah.
And other guys kind of come and go. Oh, it's going to be searching. Well, no. Oh, it's going to be speak that now. Phil's kind of been the most consistent what's the word I'm looking for? Adversary to Tiger. Rival, thank you, Kirby. Thank you, Kirby. He's fixing Blaine's email. He's giving me words. Thank you, Kirby. He's been the most consistent rival, really, for Tiger. And Tiger goes away because he's hurt or different things happen in his life. And Phil kind of takes advantage of it and keeps winning.
Then win a tournament here or there, and then goes through the Krispy Kreme drive-thru.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it seems like he might have used up most all the goodwill that he had.
Oh, no, we're fans of, we're sympathetic fans of apologies. Yeah, of course. He gets 50 billion chances. As long as he gets 50 million back.
Does he? But, Lucas, you can probably help us with this. Has he said somewhere, like, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I shouldn't have said that. Hey, has he asked for any kind of forgiveness? Has he done that?
Well, no, because I think the statement that got everybody riled up was kind of in response to his involvement with all that stuff. And his response was basically like, yeah, I'm sorry, but it was worth it because of this.
Yeah, he should have said the but, cause.
Yeah, the but just negates everything.
Yeah.
It does seem like our society, though, especially for athletes who people love, if they'll just say, I'm sorry. They seem to.
They'll be fine.
Oh, you're sorry? Well, that's fine then. Yeah. I still love you. Mm-hmm. But I always wonder what if, and this will get Kirby because he's from that part of the world, if Pete Rose had ever just stood up and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I had Kirby's giving himself a headset.
Oh, no.
And you younger folks.
Oh, my, I'm about to fall off of here.
You younger folks may say, no, my dad talks about Pete Rose. Pete Rose is the all-time hit king by a mile, and he's not in the Hall of Fame because he bet on baseball, and he's never really been apologetic. I think
he's never denied. Well, he denied it.
Right.
When the Dowd report came out, had he just said, I screwed up, I bet on baseball games, but you can look at the slips, I bet on the Reds to win.
Right.
It would have gone. I mean, he may or may not be in the Hall of Fame.
Had some
politically, it wouldn't have been against him.
Though.
Well, no, he was also tied up with some people with steroids. Who knows? And it's an ego thing, I'm sure, because he was always a jerk. If you ever saw him out in public, everything you've ever heard of.
He's been always nice to me when I meet him.
Well, that's different situation. You're a professional athlete. But had he just come out and said, yeah, I bet on the Reds, I messed up, but I didn't bet on us to lose, yeah, he'd be in the Hall of Fame because everybody's soft-soaping everything. They're going to figure out a way to put Bonds, the Cheats, and all those guys in eventually.
Okay. Well, we'll turn this around to the Titans then. Did you feel sorry for Tannehill after he said he went to therapy? Did you look at it in a different way? Ooh. Oh. Or did you say, oh, he does care? Well, what did you think? He didn't care? Really? He's a human being. He cares. He's the quarterback. He ain't care. He doesn't just like getting the checks. He wants to win. I mean, how do you think he made it this far in life in sports? Also, then people chase, oh, man, I don't know. He had to go to therapy, to get over the loss. Yeah, it hurt him more than anybody else, than the fan. Trust me. He probably had a whole bunch of sleepless nights and probably nightmares and all kind of things. And it's going to haunt him for a while. Trust me. The Ravens game still haunts me. Not the Super Bowl loss to the Rams, the Ravens. The Ravens the next year. It haunts me. It just haunts me because I know we should have beat them. See? So it'll never go away. It just fades gradually. It just continues just to eat at you until you're able to go out there and get over it a little bit and beat them in the next year. Oh, it didn't matter. We beat them the next year. Who cares?
Right.
Didn't matter. They won a Super Bowl.
And you guys would have beaten the brakes off that Giants team.
We beat them by 40 in the regular season.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even play but half a game. I was like, dang, damn it, this is what it feels like to play 9 a game? Yeah, we was blowing them out so bad, I think I played the first series of the third quarter.
I remember y'all beat the brakes off of them, but that's rare. It's like just
Kerry Collins.
I mean, you only got what, 46 people dressed out on a game day. It's like, yeah, go ahead and pull the starters.
So I don't know if, back to your point, I don't know if people feel differently about Phil. Maybe it's because of the sport. Yeah. Maybe they don't care as much. But yeah, man. So, hey, he's been doing it for a while, and he probably feels like he doesn't have to apologize.
That's a great question, though. And if anybody wants to weigh in, 615-737-1045, Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. I'll get to my ding-dong in a minute. Mine is from the baseball world. But we talked about this the whole offseason. So he stands up after the game. He essentially says, we could have played better. We could have done this better. He never did.
Take ownership.
He never did the McNair. Titans fans got spoiled by a quarterback who would stand up there every week because McNair was that guy, and really Marcus was a lot like that.
We can't say, yeah, Marcus did the same thing.
He did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people were so endeared to Marcus, because you guys would lose on the rare occasions where you lost a game. And McNair would always say, it was 100% my fault. I should have played better. Defense was great. They blocked for me great. Eddie's great. He would name everybody who did great and then throw himself under the bus. He did it over.
Half the time it wasn't even his fault.
Right. And he'd be there, after being beat up, not practicing all, but he would still take the blame for everything.
But in this instance, it was Tannehill's fault. he did not. He did not. He still has. He really hasn't still said anything like that.
No, he didn't. And you said this. You've said this several times, like, look, he talked. He said a lot of stuff. But it's not like he came out and said, I messed up. I lost the game. I threw 3 interceptions. You can't do that. He never said it.
Well, I'm not going to say anybody's going to ever say, I lost the game when you know you did.
Right.
I think he's going to say, I have to play. He should have just kept saying, I have to do better, and I can't turn the ball over, especially in critical situations, especially on the last drive. That's on me.
And this came up one day. We were talking about it, and somebody was in the zone
Granted,
TV
even
chat.
though it's more than just
For sure.
involved.
Somebody sent his own TV chat. Yes, he did. He did. So I'll tell you what. I went back and watched it again, and I read the whole transcript. He said we. He didn't say I. Never.
You know who said we can't turn the ball over? It said
Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel said
Hey, man.
we cannot. I mean, Tannehill cannot turn the ball over. We cannot turn. And it was proving his point all season. Every time they lost a game, it was because of turnovers. So I get it. It tells me that he has a little insecurity about his position and the way that he plays and goes about his business. Because at the end of the day, he had to take ownership. At the end of the day, even if he did it when he came back, I would have said, look, I got to play better. I can't throw interceptions. It's unacceptable. And guess what? He should have took the Ja Morant. What did Ja say after he lost and missed the layup with the left hand?
I make the next one.
He said it. He looked at it. I will make the next one. And he absolutely did.
He did.
Yeah. See, that's a confident athlete. Tannehill a little wavery here. A little insecure. Why? Is it because of your past history with the Dolphins? What's going on here? It was always your fault, and everybody blamed him. And then people still today don't believe he's a good quarterback like he's done here with the Titans. I had to sell him. Yeah. And then he had all the moving parts, different receivers out there. I mean, no running back. I mean, he had Foreman, but no King. And he still played okay. Was it his worst season? Yes. It still wasn't horrible. It was probably equal to one of those seasons that he had in the Dolphins. But I think he's going to rebound. I think he said therapy. Hopefully it'll put him in the right frame of mind. He's a good guy, good athlete, good arm. I think he can rebound from it. And guess what? I'm banking on he has no choice.
Yeah.
He better. Or this season will be a tank.
If he doesn't, then he just becomes a guy. If he's still playing, then he becomes the guy who is a stopgap or a bridge guy. Or
he's
just
a backup in the league.
Real
after
good
that.
number 2, veteran, has seen it all, done it all. So he's playing for his life as a starter.
Yeah, it's on the line now. You got to play loose and say, well, whatever happens, happens. So I don't know if that mechanism, but I'm banking on that it is. So I want to see if I'm right because I don't know him personally. I like his skill set, and I've said from the beginning, once he got out there, he was the better quarterback. And so far he's taken him, to the same spot, really, Marcus Mariota did, the second round. That's it. Oh, he made it to the AFC Championship one year, yeah.
But the
window is closing.
The window's closing.
This is it. For the big boys, King, Luan, Tannehill, it's coming to an end. This is it.
My ding-dong is Dan Bellino, the umpire, who threw out Madison Bumgarner in the first inning of the game while rubbing his hand and staring at him. He checked him for sticky stuff.
Did he have a mohawk like Joe?
He was not nearly as cool as Joe Hunk.
Oh.
So Bumgarner got upset over a ball and strike call. This is in the first inning. So comes over to check. Bellino just stares him down. It's really creepy. There's like slow motion of him just rubbing his hand. They get into a fight. He throws Bumgarner out. It's just the dumbest thing ever. He completely escalated the situation.
Yeah.
Nobody comes to say, gosh, I want to really see the umps do something today. And I get it. For all of you who umpire, they're having trouble finding enough umpires for youth games and stuff. There's crazy parents out there. We're talking about the professional level. Just ump the game, keep it moving. Everybody paid a lot of money.
But he didn't find anything on his hand, though, when he was looking at it.
No, they just fought. He threw him out for fighting with him.
Yeah, but arguing.
Yeah. He MF'd that. That was some words said. But he was rubbing his – it was just creepy and awful. He apologized later, but –
said it was his fault.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. Come on now. Don't make yourself the center of the story.
But at least he did own up to it, though, after the fact. But he did own up like, I made it about me and not,
Ding dong.
Yeah, he was a ding dong.
He was a ding dong. Sure. Appreciate Mark Spain for sponsoring this segment. If you want to weigh in on the Tannehill thing, I do think that's an interesting discussion, and we can keep it up. Do you feel different about him now? He never said I shouldn't have thrown it. He never did that. But he talked about what dark days. Talked about how it hurt him just as bad as it hurt all of you. And as Blaine said, he was the one throwing them. You don't think it didn't hurt him? But he brought all that up. 615-737-1045. Also, I'll tell you, I teased that I'll get this next. Where does FanDuel have the Bills, the Titans? This has been leaked, the schedule, wink, wink, leaked. Titans-Bills, Week 2, Monday Night Football, first game of a doubleheader. How good does FanDuel think the Bills and Titans will be? I'll share that next. And your phone calls live from Pancho and Lefty's across the Bridgestone Arena. It's Blaine and Mickey. Joe Hawk! of the hits off that. So there's 2 versions of some of the hits.
1980. Where were you, Mickey?
This is a true story. I was at a church lock-in the year when it turned 1980. I was at First Baptist Church, Harrisburg, Arkansas, having a lock-in. Kids today probably have no idea what that is. You would literally go spend the night with all the other kids in town.
Ooh, I got a lock-in story for you.
Oh, okay, all right. And this is a true story. I walked outside. We ran outside into the church parking lot to look around because, like, I was 100% convinced it would look different outside when the decade changed. I don't know how I thought it.
I don't even want to tell my story now. You thought it was going to look different?
Kirby's like, well, you were in Arkansas. I was convinced it would look different.
You thought the world was going to look different?
Yes. I thought there'd be fireworks or something. I mean, it was the decade was changing.
Well,
that's all anybody talked about.
Were they selling this gibberish over the TV or something?
No. I just made it up in my head because people were like, it's the 80s now. Things will be different. We're out of the crazy swinging 70s. And I thought, okay. Well, I mean, will the sky look different? And I just remember like I was walking around with my hands out like, this looks the exact same.
Now, if you would have walked out with your hands out and had a mohawk and Joe Huck's green glasses on, then you would have changed. So that would have been hilarious.
I'm 100% sure I probably had
I don't even want to tell my story now. You outdid me.
I remember asking the preacher's son, who turned out to be wild, like a lot of preachers' kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, Greg, why does it still look the same? And he's like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm like,
he was
it's
like,
1980.
What are you taking? No, he wasn't. He's like, what are you smoking?
Yes. I said, I was 10. I was like, it's 1980. They said it would be different. And he's like, what, do you think the town's going to be a different color or something? What, do you think the sky would be different? And I was like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I remember that was 42 years ago. I remember that like it was yesterday. Because I'd never lived through a change in a decade. I was, I had, but I was 1 when it turned 1970. Yeah. So I just had nothing, like no idea what was supposed to happen. And people would say it was going to be different. Music will be, everything will be different. It's the 80s now, and the political turmoil, and, there was a lot going on. I mean, there was a lot of political unrest in the country at that time. That's why and Kirby's gone to collaborate on this with me because he would remember it. That's why the U.S.
I definitely didn't remember
hockey gold medal thing was so big because there was so much unrest in the world, and they gave everybody hope.
Oh,
so it's a huge game, and they beat the Russians, and there was a Cold War and all this other stuff. But it was big for a lot of reasons.
I didn't know all that was going on. So I'm really sure. You just thought up a great topic, though. What was something that you really believe was going to happen as a youngster? Maybe you want to phrase it a little bit differently. That you just knew that it was maybe. I mean, it could have been anything. I'm sure these young guys, they believe everything that's on the phone. Will, you guys over here, man. Christian, yeah. I mean, like, man, I can't say I had any of those thoughts. Maybe I don't know. Like Santa Claus didn't really come through the chimney or something.
I had reasoned that
he wasn't the one putting the milk and cookies out there.
No, I mean, I just figured everybody left the door unlocked that night. You didn't have a chimney.
Okay.
And also, typically you'd have like these vents coming out of your house. I thought, well, he just goes through that. That's what he does.
Oh.
I mean, if your kids are listening, they know how this works. Kids
they're supposed to be. Is school out yet? Your kid is still in school, isn't he?
He's in school. Just saying, if anybody's homeschooled or riding around with
I'm
mom
sorry.
and dad,
I'm
Santa's
sorry.
resourceful.
I'm just
Uncle Blaine.
Everybody, I'm so sorry.
Santa's very resourceful, Uncle Blaine. You know that.
Yeah, I'm a realist here. Yeah, but I did have a lock-in for my high school senior prom. In the natatorium.
The natatorium. There were girls
like
involved.
where you could swim and where I think they had the
You think
Olympics
my town
there.
had a natatorium? You think my school, Harrisburg High School, that we had gnats?
Well, first of all,
but we had
I was just happy that we got to be in a natatorium and they locked the ladies all in with us. So, yeah, I thought that was awesome. But it was a Catholic school, so I think they were worried about a lot of other things going on, like a lot of, same color, St. Patrick's Day and drinks and everything else involved with prom. So, yeah, I think that was best, all jokes aside, because someone passed away every single year I was in high school.
Oh, my gosh.
From, drunk driving. So, yeah, they were really cautious. And
This took a turn here.
Yeah, I did. You saw I went deep.
Yeah,
now I did a Tannehill. Now you feel sympathy for me. You feel sorry and like, oh my, you know, oh my.
This might make Titans feel sorry. I've been teasing
This
this.
is what happens when we get on top of rooftops, man.
I know. We're not even in the margaritas here. We're just on tacos.
Yeah, well, you speak for yourself. I've already had a few.
The current FanDuel Super Bowl favorite is the Titans' leaked Week 2 opponent, the Buffalo Bills. Not the Chiefs, not the Bucks, the Bills. Super Bowl favorite. You know where the Titans are?
I'm already nervous about this game, by the way.
Oh,
because they're going to be the revenge factor, and they believe that they should have won that game if he didn't slip.
Oh, Bills fans still saying he slipped. He slipped because Big Jeff crushed the guy in front of him. Stop that.
What about when Henry just ran through your whole defense that was ranked number 1 at the time?
Run through their face.
Yeah.
Remember their safeties got mad at the game.
One of them made the Pro Bowl. I just was like, man, I don't know if I want to see no Derrick Henry coming downhill with me like that. I may start running backwards. They be like, what are you doing, Blaine? I'm trying to get the right angle.
Right. I'm going to meet him down here
My
further away.
job is to make the open field tackle. Head on is not an open field tackle. He wins that every time.
I would always try to figure a way to get beside somebody. So I wasn't just getting flattened by him. I'd get beside him, then I'd try to knock him over like
That's
a
what a
bowling
lot of
pin.
guys try to do. Then they realize, then he got the straight arm.
Well, he can just run so fast, the angle's gone, and you're just laying there on the ground. But it looks like you tried because you dove.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know how to miss tackles. Titans are 15th according to FanDuel. Did they go from the best team in the AFC? This is Vegas.
I told you, they always hating on the Titans.
15th is where they have the Titans.
In the AFC?
Well, no, 15th
Overall.
in the league. 15th in the league.
Oh, my. That's still bad. I mean, man, 15 teams that can name that's better. Can somebody call in who's probably not a Titans fan and say there are 15 teams they can think of right now off the top of their head that is better than the Titans?
So I'll do this for you. When we come back, I have a power poll that thinks the Titans are even worse than Las Vegas. They can actually say this year, nobody believes in us. And I'll tell you where that comes from next. I'll tell you who said it.
You really are trying to make me go get my cape and jump off this rooftop, man.
Worse than 15th. We're going to get Blaine fitted for his cape. We'll be right back. Blaine and Mickey live from Pancho and Lefty's downtown Nashville. Join, I don't
Man,
know.
it's a lot of people down here already.
It's just not insane.
Man,
It's Monday, Blaine.
man,
It's the middle of the day on
tour
Monday.
in here, man.
Look at these people.
Come and see Kirby is just outstanding. Look at all these people.
Now, I mean, most of them
It's
probably.
the it city, though, man.
There's nothing you can say anymore. So for everybody who doesn't want the big football stadium and all this other stuff to get, it's too late. It's too late. It's happening. The big stadium is going to get built across the.
Got the new soccer stadium. I was just
Cumberland.
saying, ooh, man, that was beautiful.
Oh, I mean, you and Lucas are big timers hanging out at the Nashville SC game, eating
Oh.
churros off a truck.
Well, I have to say, I have to thank Matt Boterford and Brandon Hill for really making the access and the event there at the soccer stadium really enjoyable for me and my family. So hats off to them, tip the cap, man. I really appreciate it, man. And it was a great time, great atmosphere. Soccer's here to stay. That is for sure. I mean, they're going to be rowdy. I was having fun. I was up there cheering, not even knowing what I was chanting. I was like, oh, I think they said NSC. And then they clap in between. You know what? I would steal some stuff if I was a Titan. You know they're not going to steal anything. They need a drummer at the Titans game to get the crowd revved up because they just did it. And it's almost like you felt like you weren't a part of it if you didn't do it. I had to do it. It's almost like you were forced to start cheering.
You know what they really need?
They need you there to just start getting them pumped up.
No, they need a whistler.
They need a whistle. I don't know about that one, man. I think you went a little too far with that one, man.
A soccer whistler.
No.
Boy, those dudes infiltrated other sporting events.
They don't need no
Heaven
whistle
help
over
us.
there. Yeah, man. But in the meantime, in between time, we got the Titans going to be playing on Monday night, right?
Monday night schedule. Wink, wink. It leaked out. How did Schefter find this out? NFL schedule will be released in full on Thursday. Game one of a doubleheader: Vikings, Eagles, then Titans, Bills. Titans beat the Bills 34-31 last year on a quarterback sneak that the Titans stopped. So stop it, saying he slipped down. He did because big people were hitting the people in front of him and knocking them into him.
Yeah.
If everything was hunky-dory, he wouldn't have had to have slipped or tried to get 6 inches off the ground with his giant body.
Yeah. 6'5".
6'5". He was trying to get underneath Big Jeff, kids. So Titans fans know how that ended.
He tripped over his own guy because Big Jeff drove the guy, right? Is that how I recall it?
He was all in that guy's business.
Yeah,
that's magical.
That's a big-time play.
That's why you're going to make all that you want to. If you wonder who's getting the bag and why.
He won the game.
That won the game.
That won the game. He was going to get in easy. They were only like an inch away, a yard away. They right there.
That's how you get the bag, folks, is you're that guy in that game on national TV with everybody watching. And it's like, oh, look at that guy. Oh, Big Jeff. Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, man, wait a minute. I'm about to go back now. All the televised games at the Titans Zone, didn't the Big Jeff have a good game? I can think of the Rams game, the Bengals game, and then the Bills game. That's 3.
Yeah.
How many times San Francisco, did he have a good game?
I'm going to have to count on Lucas. I'm storing those memories with him.
Well, we got to ask these youngsters, Christian and Will, man. Y'all remember that? But they remember when they were 8, though.
You're asking if who had a good game?
Big Jeff against the 49ers.
Let me see what he did against San Francisco. I don't remember him popping out in that game. That was the A.J. Brown game.
Yes, it was. Return game. Yep, there's no more of that. So
yeah, he'll return. He'll return at some point. It just won't be.
Well, he'll be flying Eagle fly there, against the Titans. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Ooh.
Yeah, Jeff didn't have any sacks in that game. A couple of tackles.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go. But he had plenty big game in the against the eventual Super Bowl champion and against the team that also played for the Super Bowl from the AFC. And asked Josh Allen about the game that he had against the Bills. Ask us where we are, and we'll tell you Pancho and Lefty's right across the street from Bridgestone. So that big Stand With Us banner, like we could, I don't know if I could throw a rock and hit that far, but I mean the idea is we're close enough to do that. Right across from Bridgestone Arena, there's another one of these, Sylvan Park, 4501 Murphy Road in Nashville. They're known for margaritas, such as the Mad Dog. They got them in all your favorite flavors, spicy, strawberry, mango, blueberry, pineapple. I mean, it's warm today. Something like that probably hit you the way you wanted it to hit you. Pancho and Lefty's cater. So if you're going to have, Luke and Christian over to watch the next Nashville SC game, you could cater for just them and yourselves. Or like you wanted to have a family reunion, have better food than, everybody bringing a covered dish. Just let Pancho and Lefty's do it. They got options to fit your budget. You can see us. You can see 3HL. We'll be here for the next hour. Brent's here. Joe Hunk is already here, getting ready to go. People are here having the aforementioned margaritas, I can see, and other things in cans. Yes, yes. Greetings, ladies. So Preds are going to play tonight, and if they don't win, the season's over. If they do win, there's a real good chance that it may end soon enough after
that. The season is over.
Yeah, the season is over.
Man.
But you still need to come down here tonight. You need to give them every chance because they need you to be loud, so that's what you got to be here for. They don't win, and Teresa Walker is going to join us next. As soon as this season ends, there's some hard questions that have got to get answered. Because you had people score like they've never scored before this year. You had a defenseman who scored like no defenseman in the last however many years. Your goalie's on the Vezina nominees list that kind of got leaked out by one of these hockey guys who, seems to know all this inside info. And you still are the same place that you've been the 3 previous years. And now you're going to pay Philip Forsberg because this is the best you could do with him having the best season he's ever had.
No, what do you mean pay him? They haven't paid him.
I know.
He's about to walk out the building.
You're going to pay him 8 for 8 after this season?
He's walking out the building. He walking out the building, man. Yep. He going to L.A. Kings. Like I know what I mean. He going.
Boy, this is.
I don't know. I'm breaking news. He is not coming back, man. They didn't piss him off. Not enough to make him play these playoffs, though. He played okay. But
what about the coach? What about the GM?
I don't know, man. I think you got to point fingers all over the place. It's interesting. The inside part of this is we don't understand is with the ownership group, are they telling them that they don't want to pay him the $10 million, and that put Paul in a bind, and then he couldn't pay him, and then he's sitting there talking to the agent and say, hey man, we're going to probably lose him. They say, too bad, we're going to lose him then. We don't know those inner workings, like how those conversations are going, because there's no way, if you're an incompetent GM, and I know Paul is, that you get to this point and then we still don't know what's going on here. And obviously he's just going to get to walk unless you know you're going to give him the bank. Yeah, and I don't know if you were, then why'd you have to wait all this time?
And if you weren't, you could have gotten a lot more.
You got to got commodities
only to come and get railed in the first round of the playoffs.
Players, whatever
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. This one here is a head scratcher.
This is a head scratcher, too. I teased this. I'm going to pay this off. That's radio, people. USA Today Power Rankings.
Oh, my.
Have the Titans at number 16. 16.
Do you have the list of the teams?
I got a list of all the AFC teams ahead of them.
What are they?
Bengals.
16?
Bengals.
Stop that.
Bills, Ravens, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Raiders, Patriots, Browns, all ahead of them, according to the USA Today Power Poll.
Yeah, we had people cheering for the Browns, Bengals,
Patriots. I was going to say
Matt
welcome
Jones.
to Nashville, but no. Welcome to Nashville.
They said Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith, we love us some Jonnu Smith. They're like, we don't know him. Is he good?
So he said Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
They still miss Tom Brady.
I know. I told them they got to get a divorce.
They are behind the Bengals, Bills. This is just in the AFC. I didn't even write down the NFC teams. Bengals, Bills, Ravens, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Raiders, Patriots, and Browns. They're behind all of them in the AFC.
Bengals, Chargers, Raiders, and the Browns, and maybe even the Patriots too.
Colts?
Yeah, and the Colts. I think there's all coin toss. I don't know. The Chargers haven't done it yet, even though the potential looks there. They almost got in last year.
The Chargers
lost to the Raiders.
All potential.
Right, because because
the quarterback.
And they got him on a rookie contract. Matt Jones is on a rookie contract. They beat the Titans head-to-head there in New England last year. They put a whooping on them. They didn't play very well. They turned the ball over. The Raiders, maybe because of the off-season moves.
Devontae Adams?
Adams, right. That's what I'm getting at. Didn't they sign another receiver too? Or was it I don't remember. Maybe it's a pass rusher. So, man, maybe they just don't like the Titans' moves, that they made over. They don't think that they made them better. Because when you look at the roster, when you just look at the receivers, you go, this team is not better. If you just look at the offense in weapons, and besides King coming back, you think that they're not better until these guys prove that they are. With Burks, and then Ken Woods proved that he can be what he was before his ACL, injury. So I think that's why. I think that's what's going into these numbers here. I mean, because I would feel like they would be ahead of them if you based off what they did last year with all those injuries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talking about what they had, like 90 injured players?
They had 91 people who wound up playing.
Which was a record.
Is a modern NFL record.
And that's why Vrabel got Coach of the Year.
Yes, it was.
That was easy.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, sometimes that's hard. That was not hard. It is not hard to do this, to take a break and to welcome Teresa Walker, which we'll do next. We'll ask her. The Titans, the 16th best team in the NFL, right in the middle.
You know what? That's how the Titans, we like it like that. Give us disrespecting us. Come on with that chip. Come on in this house, Nissan Stadium, where it's rocking.
We are rocking at Pancho and Lefty's across the street from Bridgestone Arena. You can come by here. We had tacos. They're still Blaine will share some of his nachos with if you want some of those. They're still here. Have a little something to eat, something to drink ahead of tonight's game. Also, are open late nights of games, so you can come over and celebrate victory or drown your sorrows after this Predators game. But the next guest we have is the queen of Nashville media, Teresa Walker. Joins us next on Blaine and Mickey. Titans, Grizz, Nashville SC. She is the queen of the Nashville media. It is one Teresa Walker who joins us now. She's also a heck of a home improvement expert. If you follow her on social media, you know that. She's never afraid to retile a bathroom or anything. She's the best. T, how in the world are you doing today?
I'm all tired. There won't be any home improvement projects for a while because I need a day or 2 or 4 off.
I think the Preds may be working to give you that day off. I hate to say it, but we could see this season come to an end tonight, T.
I tell you, I just got a note from an editor reminding me that if this is a sweep, that I have to write a story on how the Avalanche advanced. And I said, I've kind of been ready for that. No offense, but, I mean, I know what the players have said since Saturday night, that they like their game 5-on-5, but this is just not the matchup that they needed. If they, and think about how close they could be to sitting in the Stars position right now, and that's the problem. They ended up with the worst possible matchup, and they're just not playing their best hockey right now. And it's, I can see the light at that end of that tunnel for sure.
So whenever this series ends, this will be 4 straight years they haven't made it to the second round of the playoffs, however the playoffs might be configured. I know it was different one year with COVID. So you got Forsberg there. He's a free agent. I mean, this is as far as you've gotten with him. Do you think this is the year that there's no more competitive rebuild? I mean, do you just blow it up? Because the ceiling now for this team is make the playoffs and don't get any further. I mean, is this when Forsberg leaves? Is this when things really start to get nuts?
Well, let's put it this way. That's a tough one because he's one of your offensive threats. You do he's in his prime right now, right? I think he's 27. Yep. And the challenge is, the time to really get a lot would have been back at the trade deadline to get some pieces to help with that rebuild. At this point, it seems like they're kind of committed to trying to get a deal done. But on the other flip side of that coin, the closer we get to the start of free agency, the more there's going to be teams, licking their chops, thinking about how they can get a guy. I mean, that's the toughest question, I think, with also looking and saying, do we have the coach we need to take us farther? When Hines was hired, and granted, he walked into a tough situation, mid-season hire, and then there's COVID, and there's just been all sorts of restrictions, since then. He's a tough situation without a doubt, but they have a 1-year team option left on his contract. Do they also take a look and say, you know what, maybe this isn't the person we need to be in charge? And, oh, yeah, there was some guy let go by the Islanders today. So there's a lot of choices. And, the front office. I mean, David Poyle's the guy who, couldn't get the deal done with Forsberg, and now they've got to make the decision. Do we extend him? Can we extend him? Can they agree to terms? Coach, I mean, guys, this is a decision that's above my head. I'll be honest. I'll wimp out on this. That said, they have some serious choices to make because, fans are going to get tired of, of not making it. I mean, just making it to the postseason isn't enough anymore. And, that's the thing. I know they're in the midst of the rebuild, but it does feel like maybe some big move has to happen to fix things. And, what it is, I could give you 5 things you could do, and I'll have just as much knowledge if they'll work as David Poyle would.
I just wonder, is this the point where maybe, I mean, dare I hate to say it because he's everybody's favorite guy, but do things change for David Poyle at this point? I mean, is this the end of the line for Poyle, do you think?
I think that is a great question, and I've been wondering it as well, Mickey, because that's the thing. He built this franchise literally from the ground up, yep, without a doubt. But, at a certain point, you do have to step back and say, all right, we made these steps, and I know how good they were. I know how high they were in the standings during the regular season. All that matters is what finished in April, and the one issue that was a problem the entire season long, penalties, and inability to stay out of the box and help yourself. You can be aggressive. This team is aggressive, but sometimes not always in the smart way. So that's something that has to be fixed. And, this is the coach he chose to replace Peter Laviolette. So there's just so many things that have to be discussed. The problem here, the potential issue, this is a large ownership group who might say, broach that conversation topic with David Poyle and say, hey, where are we at, where are we going, and we need to know exactly what the roadmap shows.
Teresa Walker, our guest here at Teresa M. Walker Associated Press here in Tennessee, covering, well, everybody for that matter.
Well, T, you just mentioned it, with the large ownership group. Do you think this is partly the issue, and I'm just trying to throw out grenades out here just to see of why they can't get a deal done with Forsberg? Just too many, people to agree on one situation. Because if you were the GM, what would you pay him, or what would it take for you to keep him here, to stay with the Predators?
Well, let's face it, it seems to be in the $9 million range per year, right? Maybe you can tack a year on to get it to where it is. But the problem is, as soon as we get closer to free agency, and guys, we just saw it with the Titans, when you get into the off season, sometimes position groups can, the price can go up, and suddenly you're not able to buy in that neighborhood anymore. So, that's another problem with coming this close to free agency and not having him signed to a contract yet. So, David Poyle, they know what their cap situation is. They've got some space. They have some room to work with. So I don't think it's so much money issue here, Blake. I just think that it's more of, trying to hit a sweet spot, because you do have $8 million a year in Johansson and Duchesne, and then, your captain announced today as a Norris Trophy finalist, and I think the odds-on favorite to win his second Norris Trophy in 3 seasons or 3 years. Do you pay Forsberg more than you're paying your captain? So that's part of the needle they're trying to thread.
Well, Colorado, they made me close it out today, but maybe not. But what are they doing to neutralize Forsberg? Or are they doing anything? He's just, just playing okay.
Well, Forsberg doesn't have a goal in this series yet. He's got 9 shots. And, the closest he's come to scoring was that post in the 5-on-3 in Game 2. Guys, Avalanche, they've got 13 players with at least 1 point. I mean, what they're just doing, they've got speed on their defense. And that allows them to, Sam Girard, we saw him for a very brief time here in Nashville, but he's only gotten faster and better. And, Cale McCarr, he's a guy that a lot of people, he's also a Norris Trophy finalist as well, and he can score and play some D a little bit as well. So, Colorado's good. I mean, they were atop the NHL for a big chunk of the season. They're the number 1 seed in the West, 117 points, which is 20 better than the Predators managed this season. So that's essentially winning I'm doing quick math, but 10 more games, right? And when you're that much better over a 10-game period, they're leading the postseason in power play goals, not largely boosted to getting 4 of 5 on Saturday, but they're just doing a lot of things right now.
Now on to the Memphis Grizzlies. We're on with Teresa Walker, AP writer. We call her Miss T, Hall of Fame writer, and that is everybody's talking about that Poole injured Ja on purpose. What is your perspective on this?
It wasn't on purpose. The thing is, he did grab hold. He was reaching for the ball, and when he didn't get it, he got the knee, and yes, there was a little pull there. And I love how so many of the Warrior fans are calling me a Memphis homer, because the Grizzlies are saying that's the play Ja was hurt on. Poole's hand was on the knee and gave a little tug. I'm not calling it dirty. He's reaching for the ball. Never used the word dirty. Ja did tweet and then delete the tweet saying break the code. I think that was just a little jab in a series where, let's face it, it's been chippy.
Yeah.
So Draymond Green ejected, Dylan Brooks ejected from Game 2, then Ja's hurt in Game 3. I mean, whew. And then I come back here and there's Game 3 we've got the Avs goalie getting poked in the eye accidentally by a stick. But the emotions are strong in that series, and right now Ja is doubtful for tonight. And, here's where the Grizzlies went 20-5 during the regular season without Ja. And, they beat the Suns with Devin Cooper, Chris Paul. They beat the Bucks with Chris Middleton and Giannis. They've beaten some good teams this season without Ja Morant. But it's different. It's the playoffs. Klay Thompson is finally shooting, coming off the best game of the postseason for him. And, if the Grizzlies don't figure out how to better rebound and quit letting Golden State run to the paint and for easy layups, Yeah. This series could be ending on, let me do the math, Wednesday night in Memphis.
Do we have any in-depth, analysis of what his injury is, that is, and how long he'll be out? I know they said he's going to miss this next game, but is he going to be out for longer? Do we know what's the extent of the injury? Anything?
Blaine, very similar to the NHL. They're not saying much of anything except that he's doubtful for tonight's game. He did have right knee soreness that sidelined him for about 10 games at the end of the regular season, and the Grizzlies went 9-3 in those games. So it's the same knee. Was it just tweaked? I know that there's a lot of people saying, oh, he came down wrong trying to defend Clay on this play, that play. The guy jumps in the air a ton and is used to landing a bit awkwardly. So I'm starting to worry about maybe some Derrick Rose syndrome here, because he has dealt with some issues this season and last season. But, that's the thing. The Grizzlies have always erred on the side of caution over these last 3 seasons. When a guy is hurt, especially one of their young stars, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., they err on the side of caution and giving more time than less to help them get back. So, based on that history, if he's doubtful tonight, makes me think that, maybe he's not seen again in this series unless it goes 7.
Oh, wow, man. Well, I guess we have 2 teams with their backs against the wall. That is the Grizzlies without Ja, the Predators, trying not to get swept. Give us, your bold predictions on what's going to happen in these next games.
Oh, I tell you, tonight I expect the first time that the Predators have been swept in a series. And then I'm going to hedge. I need to see what the Grizzlies do tonight. If they play the way they have the first couple of games or the first few games in this series with Ja, the Warriors will have a chance to close out Wednesday night.
There you have it. Teresa Walker, Hall of Fame writer, Miss T, AP writer.
All right, let's just go through everything with you since we got you on the line. We haven't spoken to you since Mentorgate. Titans fans always say, Teresa, we want more national coverage. We got a lot of national coverage last week when your quarterback said it's not his job to mentor the other guy. Lots of national coverage on that. Curious to get your thoughts.
To me, it blew up nationally because there's not much else to talk about. I mean, people have kind of worn out on where's Baker Mayfield going? What are they going to do with Jimmy G? And so here's a quarterback who said something that could have been said much more artfully. He's going to talk to the kid in meetings and on the practice field and on the sideline during games. That's going to happen. And guess what? Last time I checked my dictionary, that's covered under the definition of mentor. So that's the thing. Poor word choice. And he's an easy guy to keep jumping on at this point because his last game, he was intercepted for the 3rd time with 20 seconds left. And, especially Titan fans are more than happy to heap some more woe and pain, and he's the guy to blame for the whole situation and the reason we didn't win a Super Bowl. So until he gets on a field, though, and throws a touchdown or runs for a touchdown to win a game, there's going to be a segment, Blaine and Mickey, who just want to be mad at Ryan Tannehill, and that's how it's going to last for a while.
Our director of content, Blaine Bishop, asked a great question earlier, Teresa. He said, him saying, I had to go to therapy. I couldn't close my eyes without seeing the game replay. They traded my top receiver. After saying all the things that he said in his opening press conference, do you think maybe that got him a little sympathy from Titans fans that he wasn't getting, especially the stuff about needing therapy just to get over the loss?
I would have thought so, and then I had some people on my timeline after I tweeted some of that and my story from that saying, well, I have a bigger scar. I hurt more. So, again, you're not going to win over some people, who have no sympathy. I'll say this. Considering the, collegiate athletes that we've seen, die in the last few months, I think it was very strong and a great move by Ryan Tannehill to point out that, yes, he's used therapy before, and he used therapy sessions again to help him get through, this tough loss. So, to me, the one bad thing about everybody jumping on the mentor comment is that what he really said and the important stuff that he said really got lost.
On the phone with Teresa Walker, Associated Press reporter. You need to follow her. You get all sorts of sports news. You get it all at Teresa M. Walker on Twitter.
Well, T, I guess, where do you side on, explaining to us, if you had to, on another station in another state, on the A.J. Brown trade? What happened?
Well, to me, it seems like it comes down to the fact he really wanted to get paid, and he really wanted to play with Jalen Hurts. You know, Howie Roseman up in Philly said that Hurts was in his ear saying, get AJ. And then, you know, the trade was surprising. I mean, especially we all heard Mike Vrabel say and John Robinson say that, you know, they want him. You know, Mike Vrabel, as long as I'm here as the coach, he's going to be on this team. You can't keep somebody. Yeah, they had the contractual stuff that they could in the franchise tag. They could have, you know, kept him here. But guys, you know, from everybody that I've talked to and all the digging that I've done, my understanding is that he was not going to come to camp, wasn't going to show up, wasn't going to step on a grass field for the Titans anywhere until he had the new deal, right? And wanted to be around $25 million. The Titans come back and say, okay, we're going to, you know, give an offer, you know, around $20 million a year, $40 million guaranteed. And when they get the counter, it was off. It went the other direction. You can't negotiate then. And then you toss in, trade me. Guys, the Titans made some serious chicken salad, it seems, by getting Traylon Burks to help replace a guy who, you know, nice kid, he didn't want to be here. And, you know, we've seen it in the NBA. You know, players, you know, work through and try to push their way to get to other teams and join their buddies and play with them. And, you know, this is, I think, one of the first times we've really seen it happen in the NFL to this extent.
Well, last one for me. I guess, do you have anything that stands out with the draft class of 2022, good, bad, or indifferent, that you would have preferred them to do or not do, or you liked everything?
I'm still curious about the Malik Willis thing. I understand the measurables and everything, and I'm curious to see what this young man can do on the field. But other than that, I like what they did to address their issues. And, guys, to me the biggest issues was getting Ryan Tannehill more options to throw the ball to. You know, they got Robert Woods and Austin Hooper in the offseason and free agency and trading, and then to go out and get Burks to replace A.J. Kyle Phillips, you know, and if you've seen some of the, you know, folks, I think it was Steve Smith raving about this kid, how well he runs his routes, you know, comparisons to Adam Humphries. And the better thing is he's a young, healthy Adam Humphries, if that's the case. So, you know, and I just like what and then the Chig Aguanko kid, you know, fastest tight end time at the NFL Combine. You know, they never really replaced Jonnu Smith last year. It feels like they took a big step toward that this year.
Cool.
All right, on the way out, we were talking about an NFL Power Poll, USA Today, Teresa. They have the Titans at 16th, and in the AFC alone, behind the Bengals, Bills, Ravens, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Raiders, Patriots, and Browns. Have we seen this team fall that far in one off season?
Mickey, do you see where they started last year? It was anywhere from 12 to 16 a year ago, too.
Yeah.
Coming off a 2,000-yard season by Derek, first AFC South title in however long, and this is par for the course. In the off season, they go for the bright, shiny, and that's what they're looking at. They're looking at the Colts. You know, they got a quarterback. Didn't we hear the same thing a year ago? So, don't worry about this, folks. You know, this will be my 26th season. Same old, same old.
Teresa, hey, 26 seasons have flown by fast. You're the very best. The Hall of Famer, Teresa Walker. Always great catching up with you, ma'am. Thank you for the time today.
Oop, there she is.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, ma'am. At Teresa M. Walker, covers everything that happens in the state and does it better than anybody. And also, again, follow her on social media for the food tweets alone. Everything she eats, she posts pictures of, and I always wish that I was with her because she only eats the good stuff. All right, this NFL Power Poll. Why are the Titans ranked 16th according to USA Today? I think this is a prevailing sentiment about the team. I'll tell you what it is. This is what I think people think about the team. I don't think it. I don't think Blaine thinks it. Kirby may think it. We'll see if you think it next.
You're down.
around town in Nashville, especially pregame and post-game and after Preds games and any other fun stuff that happens. Here's another fun opportunity for you. You need to join us at the all-new Champions Corner for the 81st running of the Iroquois Steeplechase, presented by Bank of America. That's Saturday, May 14th. That's coming up at Percy Warner Park. You can check out this sweet new deal from Sweet Deals. $100 gets you 2 VIP tickets and the all-new Champions Corner at the 81st Annual Iroquois Steeplechase. To purchase, visit sweetdeals.com/Nashville today. You need to make sure that you're there. I think you can hang out with Buck Rising. Lucas, are you going to go to that? Because that seems like something that you would not want to miss.
I would love to go to that, but I will be out of town.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to be at another Birmingham USFL game. Are they still undefeated?
I don't know if the Stallions are undefeated. I know they won the other night. To be honest, I have not even looked since I went to that opening game.
Wait, where are you going,
falling
Lucas?
Down on the job here.
You going on vacation?
No vacation. I do have sister's birthday. It's a belated Mother's Day because I wasn't there last weekend, and my girlfriend graduates med school on Saturday.
Dang.
Oh, man, big celebration there, man. You dating up, man.
Listen to our boy. He's about to get supported in the manner to which he's become accustomed.
Yeah.
His belated friend.
No wonder he has this free spirit about himself.
Right. He knows he's going to dump us as soon as he can.
Don't worry about that. Oh,
A nice little safety net.
My girl got everything, man. I'm good to go.
What's her specialty?
She is an orthopedic. Wants to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, Blaine and me could use some of that action right now. Tell her we need a couple consults.
Oh, man. She looked at my body. She'd be like, man, it's too much work. I can't fix it. she's probably saying, like, start with your brain.
You do have to have a certain level of being a psychopath to want to cut people open with a knife, but that way it's a balance to where it's not life or death, right? She's doing like knee operations, so she's not like saving somebody in trauma, but still wants to cut people open.
Does she know how to, when you cut from top to bottom like Mickey was talking about earlier?
Okay, full disclosure, since I'm talking about other crazy things, we actually asked this question on Blaine and Mickey Twitter. Did you believe anything crazy as a kid that turned out not to be true? I also thought, Lucas, that when you got surgery, that they just split you in half from top to bottom. So I would be like at church as a kid at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church on a gravel road outside of Harrisburg, Arkansas, and the preacher would be like, any last prayer requests today from y'all? And it'd be like, well, I'd like to pray for Mabel. She's got to have surgery on a gallbladder this week. Well, all I could picture was that woman being cut completely in half.
Like a magician or something?
Yes, but not like sawed sideways, like from top to bottom.
Oh, God.
So, then I would see her. There was no scar from, her forehead to the base of her neck. And I'm like, this doctor does good work. She was just
they covered that up pretty nice.
Yeah.
But we had Christian and Will had some great stories on things today. I can't recall, but, things that were believable for sure when you were a young kid. I guess, Christian, you want to go first? Yeah. What was your memory there at 10 and under for sure?
Well, yeah, mine was 10 and under because I guess at the time, 2012, the Mayan calendar around Christmas time.
Yes.
I'm going through grocery stores and people are piling things on.
The fear fact, they made me start believing that something was going to happen too.
Yes, people just piling things, in the grocery store and stuff like that. But just I guess because I was 11 or 12 at the time, that's the only reason, really.
I was an adult. They almost convinced me. I was like,
me.
what are all these people doing? Yeah. Will had a great story too, man. These guys came over. We know Kirby has all kind of stories. So, Will Bowling. Will Bowling.
Yeah.
What was your story?
So this was a really good one. I was really, really little. Really little is what I have to preface this with.
Okay.
But I thought that if you were caught in a tornado, that you got turned into a tornado.
I think that's fair.
Oh, okay. I know. I know.
Let's be honest. If you're caught in it, there's a
You
real
are a
good chance
tornado.
you are
We
part
don't
of
know,
it.
right?
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think
Really little.
That was a good wow.
G Machine said on Twitter, he said,
Thank you.
I was pretty worried about Y2K. I was 30 years old. He said, I remember walking outside after midnight with fireworks going off and being surprised that the street lights still worked.
Well, it's funny because you start watching TV and then you start hearing things from other people and then you listen to the radio and they start talking about what you almost fall into the trap.
I was terrified.
To believe that I'm like, man, well, could that happen? There's no way that can happen.
Remember, people spent like
About 3 days, I was like, I think this make it happen. No, stop it. It cannot happen.
He also said, G Machine, I also thought putting salt on your food must cool it down when I was a kid because people got their food at restaurants and always started putting salt on it.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would be right there in the middle of believing stuff like that. Do you believe this? So USA Today NFL Power Rankings, they have the Titans at 16. 16. So the Rams are first overall, then the Bengals. They're way back in the AFC. I've read the list multiple times. But this is what they have, like scouts or somebody who give their take. They drafted some impressive players, but dealing Brown and taking Malik Willis as the presumed successor to Ryan Tannehill and all that comes with that, hence that Tennessee could be headed into a cocoon before molting into something significantly different.
Oh.
There are some people who are like, well, they drafted a quarterback. This is it. The window's over. This is it. Well, they're going to rebuild.
Well, I didn't say that. I definitely.
I think these guys, like Nashville.
No. I said I wouldn't say that, but I can see a scenario and I keep talking about Tannehill, but I'm betting that he does. If he doesn't, it can go down real far because really all the shots that he took last year, if they try to duplicate that again, I don't think he'll be able to survive it without getting scrutinized now after that playoff loss.
Oh, you're right.
If he throws a lot of interceptions, just say the same stats he had this year, I don't think people are going to give him that grace. And then I don't know if their record is going to be as good. I think every year you have to reinvent yourself to be better and work on your weaknesses. Even the King, he's going to have to show that he's going to be not only back, but better than he was before because there's a lot of people out there doubting him to me. And I'm like, well, he just had a foot injury. He's going to be the same guy he was. He got a rest last year. Yeah. He got to rest. Now he become more of a hawk. Yeah, more guns, more straight arms, more speed, more agility, more power. So are they going to ride him or are they going to ride Tannehill? That's the question. And I think they have to ride Tannehill more if they want to get victories this year.